I wake up with a pounding headache, the kind that makes every sound feel like a sledgehammer. I squint against the blinding sunlight streaming through the curtains. My mouth is dry, my thoughts sluggish. I sit up slowly, trying to piece together the fragments of last night. Sarah's voice floats in from the kitchen, laughing with our guests. It grates on my nerves. I remember bits and pieces, a dinner party, wine, too much of it. My head throbs with every movement. I swing my legs over the side of the bed and sit there, trying to summon the energy to stand. Our bedroom feels suffocating, the bed unmade, sheets tangled from a restless night. I run a hand through my hair, pushing back the fog. I make my way to the bathroom, splash cold water on my face, hoping it will clear my mind. In the kitchen, the laughter grows louder. I follow the sound, feeling like an outsider in my own home. The kitchen is bright, filled with the smell of fresh coffee and bacon. Sarah, in her element, is playing the perfect hostess. Our friends, Mark and Lisa, are seated at the table, looking far too cheerful for this hour. "Morning, John," Mark says, grinning. "Rough night?" I manage a weak smile. "You could say that." Sarah looks at me, her eyes sparkling with amusement. "We were just talking about your wine consumption last night. Quite the party animal." I force a laugh, but it feels hollow. I can't shake the feeling that there's something more to their laughter, something I'm missing. I grab a cup of coffee and sit down, trying to ignore the looks exchanged between Sarah and Mark. Our son, Jake, enters the kitchen, his face serious. He avoids my gaze at first, then looks directly at me. "Dad, can we talk?" His tone is urgent, and it cuts through the fog in my brain. "Sure, buddy. What's up?" Jake glances at Sarah and the guests, then nods toward the hallway. In private, I follow him, my mind racing. In the hallway, Jake pulls me aside, his expression tense. He's always been a good kid, smart and perceptive. Seeing him like this sets off alarm bells. "Dad, I need to show you something." He pulls out his phone, hands trembling slightly. "I hid a camera in the living room last night. You need to see this." My heart skips a beat. "What are you talking about?" "Just watch," he insists, pressing play on a video. I see Sarah and Mark on the screen, their bodies entwined, their whispers intimate. My blood runs cold. The video continues, each second a knife to my heart. "How long?" I manage to choke out. "I don't know. I suspected something for a while, so I set up the camera." I feel a surge of anger and betrayal, emotions crashing over me like a tidal wave. I want to confront them, to make them pay, but I know I need to stay calm, think this through. Jake is watching me, waiting for my reaction. "Thank you, Jake," I say, my voice barely a whisper. "We'll handle this. I promise." As I walk back into the kitchen, I feel a sense of resolve hardening within me. Everything seems ordinary, but this revelation changes everything. The laughter grates on me more than ever. I sip my coffee, my mind already plotting. Sarah and Mark think they're smart, but they have no idea who they're dealing with. I can barely keep my hands from shaking as I walk back into the kitchen. Sarah's laughter sounds like nails on a chalkboard. I force a smile, trying to keep the rage from showing on my face. I need to be smart about this. Mark leans back in his chair, looking far too comfortable in my home. I grit my teeth and decide I need more information before I act. I need to know how deep this betrayal goes. "John, you look like you've seen a ghost," Sarah says with a smirk, oblivious to the storm brewing inside me. "Just a headache," I reply, managing to keep my voice steady. "I think I'll lie down for a bit." "Good idea," she says, turning back to the conversation with Mark and Lisa. I head to my office instead of the bedroom, closing the door behind me. I sit at my desk, staring at the computer screen, trying to calm down. I watch the video again, the images burning into my mind. The betrayal is almost too much to bear. I need to act, but I have to be methodical. I call my lawyer, Martin, a sharp guy who's helped me with business deals in the past. I need his advice on how to proceed. "Martin, it's John. I need to see you. It's urgent." "Of course, John. Come by the office. I'll clear my schedule. I drive to his office, my mind racing. Martin greets me with a concerned look when I walk in. John, what's going on? I hand him the phone with the video, unable to say the words. He watches it, his expression growing more serious by the second. This is damning, John. What do you want to do? I want to destroy them, I say, my voice cold. But I need to do it legally. I can't afford to lose Jake or my business in the process. All right, Martin says, leaning back in his chair. First, we need to gather more evidence. This video is a start, but we'll need more if we want to build a solid case. We need to dig into their finances, find out if there's any fraud or misuse of funds. If they've been this reckless in their personal lives, chances are they've made mistakes elsewhere. I'll do whatever it takes, I say, my resolve hardening. Just tell me what I need to do. We'll start with a private investigator, Martin says. I know a guy who's very discreet. We'll also need to keep this quiet. No confrontations, no tipping them off that you know. We'll build our case and then strike. I nod, feeling a grim sense of satisfaction. This is the start of my revenge. I leave Martin's office with a plan forming in my mind. I drive back home, my thoughts dark and focused. That night, I lie awake next to Sarah, her breathing soft and even. I watch her, feeling a mix of anger and sadness. How did it come to this? We used to be so happy. I think about our early years, the passion we shared, the love that seemed unbreakable. Now it's all a lie. The next few days are a blur of careful planning. The private investigator, Tom, starts digging into Sarah and Mark's lives. I keep up appearances, playing the part of the clueless husband. It's hard, but I know I have to be patient. One evening, Sarah tries to initiate intimacy. Her touch feels like poison on my skin. I force myself to respond, playing the role, but inside I'm seething. She doesn't notice my lack of enthusiasm, too wrapped up in her own desires. It's a painful reminder of how disconnected we've become. In the meantime, Tom's reports start coming in. The more I learn, the deeper the betrayal feels. Mark and Sarah have been funneling money from our joint accounts, planning to start a new life together. They've been using our home for their trysts, laughing at my ignorance behind my back. Jake is my only solace. He knows something is wrong, but I keep him in the dark about the details. I don't want to burden him with the ugliness of it all. He's a good kid, and I need to protect him from this as much as possible. One night, after another humiliating dinner where Sarah and Mark act like nothing's wrong, I retreat to my office. The weight of the deception presses down on me. I feel like I'm drowning, but I refuse to give in. I won't let them win. Tom's latest report is the final nail in the coffin. He's found evidence of embezzlement, enough to ruin Mark's career and put Sarah in a precarious position. Martin advises that we're ready to move forward. John, we have enough to take them down, Martin says over the phone. We need to act fast before they suspect anything. I hang up, my heart racing. This is it, the moment I've been waiting for. I go to Jake's room, finding him playing a video game. Jake, I need you to stay at your friend's place tonight, I say, trying to keep my voice steady. Why, Dad? What's going on? I'll explain everything later. Just trust me, okay? He looks at me with wide eyes, but nods. Okay, Dad. After he leaves, I wait for Sarah to come home. When she does, I'm ready. She walks into the living room, surprised to see me sitting there in the dark. John, what's going on? We need to talk, I say, my voice cold. I can see the fear in her eyes as she sits down. I know about you and Mark. Her face goes pale. John, I can explain. Don't, I interrupt. I've seen the videos. I know everything, and it's over. She starts to cry, but I feel nothing. John, please, I'm so sorry. It was a mistake. A mistake? I laugh bitterly. You've been lying to me for months, stealing from me. Do you really think I'm that stupid? She looks at me, her eyes pleading. I love you, John. Please, let's work this out. I don't think so, I say, standing up. You and Mark have made your bed. Now you'll lie in it. I leave her there, sobbing, and head to the bedroom. The satisfaction of seeing her broken is tempered by the pain of the betrayal. I lie down, staring at the ceiling, thinking about the trial ahead. This is just the beginning. The next morning, I meet Martin at the courthouse. The legal proceedings are swift and brutal. The evidence we've gathered is overwhelming. Sarah and Mark are caught off guard, their attempts to defend themselves weak and ineffective. As the trial progresses, I watch Sarah's facade crumble. She looks at me with a mix of anger and desperation, but I feel nothing but cold resolve. This is the justice I've been seeking. Mark's downfall is equally satisfying. His smug arrogance is replaced by fear and regret as the evidence of his crimes is laid bare. The courtroom is tense, the air thick with anticipation. During a break, I step outside for some fresh air. Martin joins me, a satisfied smile on his face. "We're winning, John. They don't stand a chance." "I know," I say, but there's no joy in it, just a grim sense of inevitability. Back in the courtroom, Sarah takes the stand. Her testimony is a desperate attempt to salvage what's left of her life, but it's clear she's fighting a losing battle. The judge is unsympathetic, the jury unimpressed. When the verdict is finally read, I feel a weight lift off my shoulders. Sarah and Mark are found guilty of embezzlement, fraud, and a slew of other charges. They're led away in handcuffs, their lives in ruins. As I walk out of the courthouse, I feel a sense of closure. But it's not over yet. I still have to rebuild my life, piece by piece. Jake and I will move forward, stronger than before. The revenge was swift and ruthless, but the road to healing will be long. I'm ready for it. I'm ready to move on. The next chapter of my life begins now. The days after the trial are a whirlwind of activity. I can't let my guard down for a second. Sarah and Mark may be down, but they're not out yet. I have to be vigilant, ensure they don't find a way to slip through the cracks. I spend hours in my office, sifting through documents, meeting with Martin and Tom. Every piece of evidence, every little detail must be airtight. I feel like a general preparing for battle, my mind sharp, my resolve unbreakable. One night, while I'm buried in paperwork, I hear a knock on my door. It's Jake. He's been quiet since the trial, processing everything in his own way. "Dad, can we talk?" I look up, feeling the weight of the world lift slightly at the sight of him. "Of course, buddy. Come in." He sits down, looking troubled. I don't understand why Mom did it, why she hurt us like that." I take a deep breath, trying to find the right words. "Sometimes people make terrible choices, Jake. It's not your fault. It's not our fault. Your mom, she lost her way." He nods, but I can see the pain in his eyes. I just want things to be normal again. "We will," I say, reaching out to squeeze his shoulder. "We'll get through this together. I promise." The next morning, I head to my office early, determined to find more dirt on Mark. If he wants to play dirty, I'll play dirtier. I dig into his financials, looking for any inconsistencies. It doesn't take long to find them. Mark has been embezzling funds from his own company, hiding money in offshore accounts. I call Tom and give him the new information. "We need to hit him with everything we've got, no mercy." "Got it," Tom says. "I'll get on it." The tension builds as we prepare for the next phase. Mark and Sarah are on edge, their defenses crumbling. I can see it in their eyes every time we meet in the courtroom. They're running out of options, and they know it. One evening, Sarah calls me. It's the first time she's reached out since the trial started. "John, please, can we talk?" Her voice is trembling, desperate. I hesitate, then agree. "Meet me at the house in an hour." When she arrives, she looks worn out, her usual confidence shattered. She sits down across from me, tears in her eyes. "John, I'm so sorry. I made a horrible mistake. I was weak, and I let things get out of control. Please, can't we find a way to fix this?" I look at her, feeling a mix of anger and pity. "You didn't just make a mistake, Sarah. You betrayed me, our family. You stole from me, from us." She sobs, covering her face with her hands. I know, but I still love you. Can't we start over?" I shake my head, the pain of her betrayal still too raw. No, Sarah, there's no going back. You and Mark made your choices. Now you have to live with them. She looks up at me, her eyes pleading. What about Jake? He needs his mother. Jake needs stability, I say, my voice firm. He needs honesty. You haven't been either of those things. She breaks down completely, and I walk away, feeling a sense of grim satisfaction. This is the end for us, but it's also a new beginning for me and Jake. The next day, I meet with Martin and Tom to finalize our strategy. The trial is reaching its peak, and we need to be ready for anything. We go over every detail, every piece of evidence, ensuring that our case is bulletproof. In the courtroom, the atmosphere is charged with tension. Sarah and Mark look like shadows of their former selves, their confidence shattered. I take the stand, delivering my testimony with a calm, steady voice. I recount the betrayal, the lies, the theft. The jury hangs on every word. Mark's lawyer tries to discredit me, but it's clear he's grasping at straws. The evidence is overwhelming, and even he knows it. Sarah's lawyer is no better. Her attempts to paint me as a bitter, vengeful husband falling flat. The judge listens intently, his expression stern. He asks pointed questions, digging into the details of our case. Each answer we give strengthens our position, eroding Mark and Sarah's defenses. During a break, I step outside for some fresh air. Martin joins me, a satisfied smile on his face. We've got them, John. They're on the ropes. I know, I say, but there's no joy in it, just a grim sense of inevitability. Back in the courtroom, Sarah takes the stand. Her testimony is a desperate attempt to salvage what's left of her life, but it's clear she's fighting a losing battle. The judge is unsympathetic, the jury unimpressed. When the verdict is finally read, I feel a weight lift off my shoulders. Sarah and Mark are found guilty of embezzlement, fraud, and a slew of other charges. They're led away in handcuffs, their lives in ruins. As I walk out of the courthouse, I feel a sense of closure. But it's not over yet. I still have to rebuild my life, piece by piece. Jake and I will move forward, stronger than before. The next chapter of my life begins now. I decide to take a short vacation with Jake to clear our minds and reconnect. We head to a quiet beach town, away from the chaos. The fresh air and serene environment help us heal. We talk, laugh, and slowly, the pain begins to fade. One evening, as we sit by the bonfire, Jake looks at me. Dad, do you think we'll be okay? I smile, feeling a warmth spread through my chest. Yes, Jake, we'll be okay. It's just you and me now. We'll make our own happiness. When we return home, I dive into work, focusing on rebuilding my business. The scandal has taken its toll, but I'm determined to rise above it. I work late into the nights, pouring my energy into every project. One day, I receive a call from Tom. John, I found something interesting. You might want to see this. I meet him at his office, curiosity piqued. He shows me documents, evidence of a deeper conspiracy involving Mark and other business associates. It seems our battle isn't over yet. This goes deeper than we thought, Tom says. Mark wasn't acting alone. There are others involved. I feel a renewed sense of purpose. Then we take them all down, every last one of them. The next few weeks are intense. We gather evidence, build our case, and prepare for the next wave. I feel like a man on a mission, driven by a need for justice. The tension builds as we close in on our targets. Mark's associates are powerful, but we have the element of surprise. We strike hard and fast, exposing their corruption and bringing them to justice. Throughout it all, Jake remains my rock. His strength and resilience inspire me to keep going. We grow closer, our bond unbreakable. As the dust settles, I look at the life we've rebuilt. It's not perfect, but it's ours. We've survived the storm, and we're stronger for it. One evening, I sit on the porch watching the sunset. Jake joins me, and we sit in comfortable silence. Dad, he says, breaking the quiet, I'm proud of you. I feel a lump in my throat, but I smile. I'm proud of us, Jake. We've been through hell. but we made it, together. As the sun dips below the horizon, I feel a sense of peace. The past is behind us, and the future is full of possibilities. We faced our darkest days and emerged victorious. The journey has been painful, but it's also been a testament to our strength and resilience. We've lost so much, but we've gained something priceless, a new beginning. Jake and I sit there, side by side, ready to face whatever comes next. The future is ours, and I'm determined to make the most of it. The nightmare is over, and now, it's time to live. The days blur together in a haze of preparation. I barely sleep, consumed by the need to see this through to the end. Martin and Tom work tirelessly by my side. We're getting closer, but the pressure is immense. One mistake could ruin everything. I sit in my office, papers spread out before me. The evidence we've gathered against Mark's associates is damning, but we need more. We need to ensure there are no loose ends. I feel the weight of it all bearing down on me, but I can't afford to falter now. Jake walks in, concern etched on his face. "Dad, you've been at this for days. You need to rest." I force a smile, ruffling his hair. "I will, Jake. Just a little longer. We're almost there." He nods, but I can see the worry in his eyes. He's been my anchor through this, and I hate that he's had to grow up so fast. I promise myself that once this is over, we'll find some semblance of normalcy again. That evening, I meet with Martin and Tom at a diner. We huddle in a corner booth, voices low as we go over the final details of our plan. "We need to be airtight," Martin says, his eyes serious. "No room for error." Tom nods. "I've got a few more leads to follow up on. We'll have everything we need by tomorrow." I lean back, exhaustion threatening to overwhelm me. Good. Let's make sure these bastards pay. The next morning, I wake up to a text from Tom. "Got the last piece. We're set." I let out a breath I didn't realize I was holding. It's time. We head to the courthouse, our resolve firm. The tension is palpable as we walk in, the air thick with anticipation. Sarah and Mark are there, their faces pale and drawn. They know what's coming. The courtroom is packed, reporters, spectators, everyone eager to see how this unfolds. I take my seat, my heart pounding. Martin stands by my side, a reassuring presence. The trial begins, the judge presiding over the proceedings with a stern demeanor. The prosecutor lays out our case with precision, each piece of evidence a nail in Mark and Sarah's coffin. Mark's lawyer tries to discredit our evidence, but it's clear he's grasping at straws. The jury listens intently, their expressions a mix of shock and outrage as the full extent of Mark's corruption is revealed. Sarah's lawyer isn't faring any better. Her attempts to paint me as a vindictive ex-husband fall flat. The evidence speaks for itself, and the jury isn't buying her defense. I take the stand, my heart racing. I recount the betrayal, the lies, the theft. I speak clearly, every word measured and deliberate. I look at the jury, seeing the sympathy and anger in their eyes. They're on my side. Mark's lawyer cross-examines me, trying to trip me up, but I remain calm. I've rehearsed this moment 1,000 times in my mind. I won't let them rattle me. "Mr. Williams, isn't it true that you've been out for revenge since discovering the affair?" the lawyer asks, his tone accusatory. I meet his gaze, unwavering. "I've been seeking justice for the betrayal and theft that has torn my family apart. This isn't about revenge. It's about holding people accountable for their actions." The lawyer frowns, but he knows he's lost. The jury is convinced. Sarah takes the stand next, her composure crumbling. She tries to defend herself, but her lies are transparent. The prosecutor picks apart her testimony with ease, exposing the truth behind her deceit. Mark's turn comes, and he's a wreck. His arrogance is gone, replaced by fear and desperation. He stumbles through his testimony, unable to counter the mountain of evidence against him. The tension in the courtroom is electric as the trial draws to a close. The judge addresses the jury, instructing them to deliberate. They file out, leaving the rest of us in a charged silence. Hours pass, each one feeling like an eternity. I sit there, my mind racing, unable to focus on anything but the impending verdict. Jake is by my side, his hand gripping mine tightly. Finally, the jury returns. My heart pounds as we stand, waiting for the foreman to speak. We find the defendants guilty on all charges. The words hit me like a wave, a mix of relief and vindication. Sarah and Mark are led away in handcuffs, their lives in ruins. I watch them go, feeling a sense of closure, but also a profound sadness. It didn't have to be this way. Outside the courthouse, reporters swarm, shouting questions. I ignore them, my focus on Jake. We walk to the car, the weight of the past months lifting slightly. At home, we sit together in the living room, the quiet a stark contrast to the chaos of the day. I look at Jake, seeing the strength and resilience in him. We did it, I say, my voice heavy with emotion. Jake nods, his eyes bright. Yeah, Dad, we did. The weeks that follow are a time of rebuilding. I throw myself into my work, determined to restore my business and provide a stable future for Jake. It's not easy, but I'm driven by the need to move forward. One evening, as I'm working late, I get a call from Tom. John, I found something you need to see. It's about Sarah. My heart sinks. What now? It's important. Meet me at the office. I head over, dread gnawing at me. When I arrive, Tom hands me a folder. This came in today. I open it, my eyes scanning the documents. My blood runs cold. It's evidence of Sarah's involvement in another scheme, one even more sinister than the first. She's been plotting behind bars, using her connections to manipulate events from the inside. This isn't over, I say, my voice a low growl. Tom nods. We need to act fast. She's dangerous. I feel a renewed sense of purpose, my resolve hardening. I won't let her win. Not again. We formulate a plan, gathering more evidence, ensuring we have everything we need to take her down once and for all. The next phase is even more intense. We uncover a network of corruption, each piece of evidence revealing a deeper layer of deceit. It's a race against time, but I'm relentless. I can't let her destroy everything I've fought for. The final confrontation is inevitable. We gather the evidence, prepare our case, and move forward with a sense of grim determination. The stakes are higher than ever, but I'm ready. I've come too far to back down now. In the courtroom, the atmosphere is charged with anticipation. The new trial is intense, every moment fraught with tension. Sarah looks defiant, but I can see the cracks in her facade. We present our case, each piece of evidence meticulously laid out. The jury listens, their expressions grim. The judge watches intently, his eyes piercing. Sarah's lawyer fights back, but it's clear they're losing. The truth is undeniable, and the jury knows it. The climax comes with Sarah's testimony. She tries to defend herself, but the weight of the evidence crushes her. The jury's verdict is swift and decisive. We find the defendant guilty. I watch as Sarah is led away, her defiance replaced by resignation. The nightmare is finally over. Outside, I breathe in the fresh air, feeling a sense of liberation. Jake joins me, his eyes filled with pride. We did it, Dad. I smile, feeling a weight lift from my shoulders. Yes, we did. We walk to the car, ready to start a new chapter. The past is behind us, and the future is ours. We've faced our darkest days and emerged stronger. The road ahead won't be easy, but I'm ready for it. We've survived the storm, and now it's time to rebuild. Together, we'll make a new beginning. The courtroom's tension dissipates as Sarah is led away. The nightmare is finally over, but the journey to rebuild my life has just begun. I walk out of the courthouse with Jake by my side, the sun shining brightly for the first time in months. It's a new beginning. We head home, the silence between us comfortable. We've said all we needed to during the trials, our bond growing stronger with each challenge we faced. Now, it's time to heal and move forward. The next morning, I sit in my office, looking at the stacks of paperwork and the mess left by the trials. It's overwhelming, but I'm determined. I roll up my sleeves and get to work, tackling one problem at a time. The first step is securing our finances. I meet with my accountant, going over every detail to ensure everything is in order. We restructure the business, making it leaner and more efficient. It's grueling work, but it keeps my mind focused. Jake helps out after school, learning the ropes of the family business. He's a quick study, and I'm proud of how he's handling everything. We work late into the nights, the office light spilling out into the dark, a beacon of our determination. One evening, as we're wrapping up, Jake looks at me. "Dad, we're going to be okay, right?" I smile, ruffling his hair. "Yes, Jake, we're going to be more than okay." The next challenge is repairing our social standing. The scandal has left a mark, and it takes time to regain the trust of our clients and partners. I host meetings, lunches, and events, putting on a brave face and showing everyone that we're back and stronger than ever. At one of these events, I meet Claire. She's a lawyer, sharp and confident, with a smile that lights up the room. We hit it off immediately, our conversations easy and engaging. For the first time in months, I feel a spark of something new, something hopeful. Claire and I start seeing each other, our relationship a bright spot in the midst of the chaos. She's supportive and understanding, her presence a balm to my wounded soul. We spend evenings talking, laughing, and sharing our dreams for the future. One night, as we're lying in bed, Claire turns to me. "John, you've been through so much. You deserve to be happy." I hold her close, feeling a warmth spread through me. "I am happy, Claire. Thanks to you." We grow closer, our relationship deepening with each passing day. She becomes a part of our lives, her kindness and strength a perfect complement to our own. Jake likes her too, and seeing them together fills me with joy. Meanwhile, the business begins to thrive again. We secure new contracts, expand our operations, and hire new staff. The office buzzes with activity, the energy palpable. I feel a renewed sense of purpose, a drive to succeed not just for myself, but for Jake and Claire too. One day, Tom calls with news. "John, there's been a development with Sarah's case. It's not over yet." My heart sinks, the tension returning. "What do you mean?" "There's evidence that she's been manipulating things from prison. We need to act fast." I feel a surge of anger and determination. "Okay, let's do this." We dive back into the fray, gathering new evidence and preparing for another battle. The tension is high, but I'm ready. I won't let Sarah destroy what we've rebuilt. In the courtroom, the atmosphere is charged with anticipation. Sarah looks defiant, but I can see the cracks in her facade. The new evidence is damning, and as it's presented, her confidence wanes. Claire is by my side, her presence a source of strength. The trial is intense, every moment fraught with tension. But we're prepared, and we don't back down. The judge listens intently, the jury's expressions a mix of shock and anger. Sarah's lawyer fights back, but it's clear they're losing. The truth is undeniable, and the jury knows it. When the verdict is read, I feel a wave of relief. Sarah is found guilty, her manipulation exposed. She's led away, her defiance replaced by resignation. It's finally over. Outside the courthouse, I breathe deeply, feeling the weight lift from my shoulders. Claire hugs me, her smile radiant. "You did it, John. It's finally over." "Yes," I say, feeling a sense of closure. "It's over." We walk to the car, ready to move forward. The past is behind us, and the future is bright. We faced our darkest days and emerged stronger. The weeks that follow are a time of healing. Claire and I take Jake on a vacation, a chance to escape the chaos and find peace. We spend our days exploring, laughing, and creating new memories. It's a time of joy and renewal, a reminder of the beauty of life. Back home, the business continues to thrive. We secure new contracts, expand our operations, and hire new staff. The office buzzes with activity, the energy palpable. I feel a renewed sense of purpose, a drive to succeed not just for myself, but for Jake and Claire too. One evening, as we sit on the porch watching the sunset, Jake turns to me. "Dad, I'm proud of you." I feel a lump in my throat, but I smile. I'm proud of us, Jake. We've been through hell, but we made it. Together. Claire joins us, her hand slipping into mine. We're a team, she says, her voice filled with love and pride. I look at them, feeling a deep sense of gratitude and joy. We've survived the storm, and now it's time to live. The future is ours, and I'm determined to make the most of it. As the sun dips below the horizon, I feel a sense of peace. The past is behind us, and the future is full of possibilities. We've faced our darkest days and emerged victorious. The journey has been painful, but it's also been a testament to our strength and resilience. We've lost so much, but we've gained something priceless, a new beginning. Jake and I sit there side by side, ready to face whatever comes next. The road ahead won't be easy, but we're ready for it. Together, we'll make a new life, one filled with hope, love, and endless possibilities. I wake up early, the morning light filtering through the curtains. Today is the final confrontation. The day everything comes to a head. I can feel the tension thrumming through my body, an electric charge that refuses to dissipate. I roll out of bed, careful not to wake Claire. She stirs slightly, her peaceful face a stark contrast to the turmoil inside me. I head to the kitchen, the quiet house amplifying my thoughts. I make a pot of coffee, the aroma filling the air. As I sip my first cup, the gravity of the day settles over me. Today, we face Sarah one last time. Today, we end this nightmare for good. Claire joins me, her hand resting gently on my shoulder. Are you ready? She asks, her voice soft but steady. I nod, the weight of the past months bearing down on me. As ready as I'll ever be. We drive to the courthouse, the streets empty in the early morning light. The building looms ahead, a monolith of justice and consequence. Inside, the atmosphere is charged with anticipation. Reporters mill about, their cameras and notepads at the ready. I ignore them, my focus solely on the task ahead. Martin meets us at the entrance, his expression grim but determined. This is it, John. We're ready. Let's do this, I say, my voice firm. We enter the courtroom, the tension palpable. Sarah sits at the defense table, her face a mask of defiance. Her lawyer huddles with her, whispering urgently. The jury files in, their expressions a mix of curiosity and fatigue. They've been through this with us, seen the evidence, heard the testimonies. Today, they deliver their verdict. The judge calls the court to order, his gavel striking the sound block with a sharp crack. The final witnesses are called, their testimonies concise and damning. Martin presents our closing arguments with precision, each word a nail in Sarah's coffin. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, the evidence is clear, Martin says, his voice resonating through the courtroom. Sarah Williams has manipulated, deceived, and committed crimes of the highest order. Justice demands that she be held accountable. Sarah's lawyer makes a final, desperate plea, but it's clear they're grasping at straws. The jury is unmoved, their minds made up. The judge gives his instructions. The jury retreats to deliberate. The waiting is excruciating, each second stretching into an eternity. Claire squeezes my hand, her presence a comforting anchor. After what feels like hours, the jury returns. My heart pounds as we rise, waiting for the foreman to speak. We find the defendant guilty on all charges. Relief floods through me, a tidal wave of emotion. Sarah's face crumples, her defiance replaced by despair. She's led away, her future sealed. It's over. Outside the courthouse, the sun shines brightly, a stark contrast to the storm inside. Reporters swarm, their questions a cacophony. I push through them, my focus on Claire and Jake. We drive home in silence, the weight of the day pressing down on us. At home, we collapse on the couch, the exhaustion finally catching up. Jake sits beside me, his eyes wide. It's really over, isn't it? He asks, his voice filled with wonder. I nod, pulling him into a hug. Yes, Jake, it's over. We're free. The next few days are a blur of activity. The business needs my attention, but I find solace in the routine. Claire and Jake are my constants, their support unwavering. One evening, Claire and I sit on the porch, the night air cool and refreshing. We talk about the future, our plans, our dreams. It's a conversation filled with hope and possibility, a stark contrast to the darkness we've endured. "What do you want to do next?" Claire asks, her eyes shining with anticipation. I take her hand, feeling a sense of peace settle over me. "I want to live, really live, with you and Jake. We've spent too long fighting, surviving. It's time to start thriving." Claire smiles, leaning in to kiss me. "I'm with you, John. Wherever you want to go, whatever you want to do, we're in this together." Her words fill me with warmth, a beacon of light in the darkness. We sit there, wrapped in each other's embrace, the future stretching out before us like a promise. In the weeks that follow, we begin to rebuild our lives. The business flourishes, our hard work paying off. We secure new contracts, expand our operations, and hire new staff. The office buzzes with activity, the energy palpable. I feel a renewed sense of purpose, a drive to succeed, not just for myself, but for Jake and Claire too. One day, as we're working late, Jake looks up from his desk. "Dad, can we take a vacation? Just the three of us?" I smile, feeling a sense of pride and joy. "Absolutely, Jake. We deserve it." We plan a trip to the mountains, a chance to escape and reconnect. The days are filled with hiking, exploring, and laughter. The nights are spent by the fire, talking and dreaming. It's a time of healing and renewal, a chance to leave the past behind and embrace the future. Back home, life settles into a new rhythm. The business thrives, our family grows stronger. Claire and I talk about the future, our plans for the next chapter. It's a conversation filled with hope and possibility, a stark contrast to the darkness we've endured. One evening, as we're sitting on the porch, Claire turns to me. "John, there's something I want to ask you." I look at her, curiosity piqued. "What is it?" She takes a deep breath, her eyes filled with love. "Will you marry me?" I'm stunned, the words taking a moment to sink in. Then a smile spreads across my face, my heart swelling with joy. "Yes, Claire, 1,000 times yes." We kiss, the future stretching out before us like a promise. It's a new beginning, a chance to build something beautiful together. The days turn into weeks, the weeks into months. Our life is filled with joy and laughter, the pain of the past fading into a distant memory. We face challenges, but we face them together, our bond unbreakable. Jake flourishes, his confidence and happiness growing with each passing day. He excels in school, makes new friends, and dreams big. I'm proud of the young man he's becoming, his strength and resilience a testament to our journey. One day, as we're sitting in the backyard, Jake turns to me. "Dad, I want to be like you. Strong, brave, and kind." I feel a lump in my throat, my heart swelling with pride. "You already are, Jake. You already are." As the sun sets, casting a golden glow over our home, I feel a sense of peace and contentment. We've faced our darkest days and emerged victorious. The journey has been painful, but it's also been a testament to our strength and resilience. We've lost so much, but we've gained something priceless. A new beginning. Claire joins us, her hand slipping into mine. "We're a team," she says, her voice filled with love and pride. I look at them, feeling a deep sense of gratitude and joy. We've survived the storm, and now it's time to live. The future is ours, and I'm determined to make the most of it. The nightmare is over, and now it's time to embrace the light. Together, we'll face whatever comes next, ready for the challenges and joys that lie ahead. I wake up to the sound of birds chirping outside the window. The sun is just beginning to rise, casting a soft golden light over the room. Claire is still asleep beside me, her breathing slow and steady. I take a moment to watch her, feeling a deep sense of contentment. Our life has changed so much in the past year, but this morning, everything feels perfect. I slip out of bed quietly, not wanting to wake her. The house is silent as I make my way to the kitchen. I start a pot of coffee, the aroma filling the air and bringing a sense of normalcy. I sip my coffee, looking out the window at the garden. It's peaceful here, a stark contrast to the chaos we endured. Jake comes down the stairs, his hair tousled from sleep. He gives me a sleepy smile. "Morning, Dad." "Morning, Jake. Ready for your big day?" He nods, his eyes brightening. "Yeah, I can't believe graduation is finally here." I smile, feeling a swell of pride. "You've worked hard for this. You deserve it." We sit together, talking about his plans for college. He's excited, nervous, and filled with dreams. It reminds me of my own youth, the endless possibilities that lay ahead. I'm grateful he has the chance to pursue his dreams without the shadows of the past hanging over him. Claire joins us, her presence bringing warmth and light to the room. We eat breakfast together, the easy conversation and laughter a testament to how far we've come. The past year has been a journey of healing, rebuilding, and finding joy in the little moments. Later, as we prepare for the graduation ceremony, I take a moment to reflect on the journey. The trials, the betrayals, and the fights were brutal, but they made us stronger. We faced our darkest days and emerged victorious. We built a new life from the ashes of the old one. At the ceremony, I watched Jake walk across the stage, his face beaming with pride. I feel a lump in my throat, my heart swelling with love and pride. This is what we fought for, what we endured for, his future, his happiness. After the ceremony, we gather with friends and family to celebrate. There's laughter, hugs, and congratulations all around. I look at Jake and Claire, feeling a sense of peace and fulfillment. We made it through the storm, and now we're basking in the light. That night, after everyone has left, Claire and I sit on the porch, a bottle of wine between us. The stars are bright, the air cool and refreshing. We talk about the future, our plans, and our dreams. It's a conversation filled with hope and possibility, a stark contrast to the darkness we endured. "What's next for us?" Claire asks, her eyes sparkling. I take her hand, feeling a deep sense of love and gratitude. "Whatever we want, the future is ours." She smiles, leaning in to kiss me. "I love you, John." "I love you too, Claire." We sit there, wrapped in each other's embrace, the future stretching out before us like a promise. We've faced our darkest days and emerged stronger. We've lost so much, but we've gained something priceless, a new beginning. As the days turn into weeks and the weeks into months, our life settles into a new rhythm. The business thrives, our family grows stronger, and we find joy in the simple moments. We take vacations, explore new hobbies, and savor the quiet evenings together. One day, as we're sitting in the backyard, Jake turns to me. "Dad, I want to be like you, strong, brave, and kind." I feel a lump in my throat, my heart swelling with pride. "You already are, Jake. You already are." The past is behind us, and the future is bright. We've faced our darkest days and emerged victorious. The journey has been painful, but it's also been a testament to our strength and resilience. We've lost so much, but we've gained something priceless, a new beginning. Claire joins us, her hand slipping into mine. "We're a team," she says, her voice filled with love and pride. I look at them, feeling a deep sense of gratitude and joy. We've survived the storm, and now it's time to live. The future is ours, and I'm determined to make the most of it. The nightmare is over, and now it's time to embrace the light. Together, we'll face whatever comes next, ready for the challenges and joys that lie ahead. As the sun sets, casting a golden glow over our home, I feel a sense of peace and contentment. We've faced our darkest days and emerged stronger. The journey has been painful, but it's also been a testament to our strength and resilience. We've lost so much, but we've gained something priceless, a new beginning. I stand up, looking at the future with hope and determination. "Let's make the most of it," I say, my voice filled with resolve. Claire and Jake stand with me, their eyes shining with anticipation. Together, they say, their voices a promise of what's to come. We walk into the house, the future stretching out before us like a promise. We're ready for whatever comes next, ready to face the challenges and joys that lie ahead. The past is behind us, and the future is bright. Together, we'll make the most of it.